Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Airport CEO. I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day, because I'm certainly excited to be back at Emerald City Airport, where things are going very well indeed. Currently sitting at $153,000. We are making money. We are making profits. So that's all fantastic. And today, I kind of want to see just how much money we end up making, because today is going to be a relatively busy day. We should have, we have a Fly Penguin flight on the ground at the moment, which is actually coming from Romania, which is perfectly fine by me. So it's going to be landing, it's going to pull in to medium stand 2. Everybody's going to go off and give me 20 bucks each, which is fantastic. But Wednesday today isn't necessarily the interesting day. The interesting day is tomorrow, because tomorrow there's a lot going on. I'm also wondering if I could get another Fly Penguin flight just in here so that we double things up a little bit there, just to make sure that Thursday is as busy as it can possibly be. And it's really, really busy already. So that's going to be kind of interesting. We are probably going to end up in a situation. I mean, this flight is landing at 10 past 4 in the morning. This one's due to take off at 4:15. So there's a 5-minute gap between this plane landing and this plane taking off. And then another plane comes in 5 minutes later for landing. So basically the airport needs to be working super, super efficiently, or we're going to wind up in a situation where, well, the airport doesn't work efficiently. That's basically the gist of it. The good news is that all of the medium stands are up and working again. So that's nice. We've got that going for us. Not that they weren't working, we just weren't using all of them to their fullest potential. So at the minute, all the medium stands are full. They are going to be a little bit quieter throughout the day here. And of course, well, we could reschedule some of these, actually. Actually, I think that one's probably on approach, so we cannot reschedule that one. Could we reschedule this one? Apparently not. Apparently not. Okay. Maybe it's landing too soon to reschedule. The point is, there is room in here that we could use. There's room over here that we could use for some small flights as well. So I'm wondering if we can maybe get a... Oh, I forgot that I actually took a contract with Swiftly here as well. Let's see. Thursday, there's no room for another flight. There is some room on Friday morning for a Swiftly flight to come in. So let's go ahead and see what we can do there. Actually, let's move that forward a little bit, just to there instead. So we'll have a Swiftly flight come in. We could do the same on Saturday morning as well. So we'll have a Swiftly flight come in there. And then on Sunday, we actually have a bit more space available. So let's say Sunday, we're going to go ahead and actually schedule some regular Swiftly flights in there. We could do the same in here as well, which I don't think is a terrible idea. So we'll do that sort of thing there. We could also have a look at some of the other airlines, because obviously there is some space to play with late on Friday for smaller airlines. So if we have a look at CLM, I mean, Saturday's free, Sunday's free of a lot of those as well. So if we grab this CLM flight here and throw it into that spot, we can actually go ahead and do the same with all the other CLM flights too. So we can maybe... We'll work back from here, I think. Perhaps. Yeah, we'll work back from here. So let's say that flight can go there. We'll see if we can maybe schedule in a bunch of other flights that are going to just gradually, you know, work off of this one. So that was 7 and 6. We have a couple of 2s in there as well. We have some Forest Air flights. They have a 6 just there. So we'll throw it into that spot. We have some Goose Wings flights. There's a 7 just there, so I want to throw a 7 recurring flight thing in there and a 7 into there as well. So that spot there at the end of the day is going to be relatively busy for a while, which is fantastic news. Saturday's a busy day, Friday's a busy day, Thursday's a busy day. Basically, the end of this week is going to be super busy, and I'm actually really excited about that. I'm really, really, really excited about that. So let's go ahead and get the baggage onto this flight. It's very nearly done. Let's also make sure that it is on time. It looks like it will be. Pushback has begun. It was almost delayed there. So I'm wondering if we need a few more ramp agents. That might not be a terrible idea to go in here and say that a few more ramp agents are needed. So we'll just buy all of those. Buy them. We'll hire all of those and see how that goes. We do, by the looks of it, have 2 large flights coming in. We absolutely do. We should have a small plane on the tarmac at the moment as well. We absolutely do. I'm kind of excited. I'm kind of excited. This is the first sort of super busy day that we have, and then tomorrow just gets even crazier. So there's there's a Fly Penguin flight coming in. There's a Nordic flight coming in. We should get a bunch of money off the back of those. And we're going to get even more as they start, doing their thing. So something I mentioned in the last episode was that I was considering doing this thing where we basically build the airport sort of around one central road. I actually kind of like the idea of doing that. Like, I really like the idea of doing that. So I'm going to go to infrastructure here. We're going to go to public roads, and we're actually going to start building that area, I think. So if we select you, we want to go to asphalt. We want to go to that way, and then all the way up to about there. We could keep this central road here, which I don't think would be a terrible idea. So I think we'll bring that central road up to there and go across like this. And that'll be fine. But what I also want to do is I kind of want to move my deliveries area, to be completely honest. So I'm thinking what we could do is move our deliveries area down to here. So it's technically sort of in the secure area, sort of not in the secure area. So if we go to loading site, we'd basically have deliveries coming in here, and then the contractors get offloaded there, so that this road gets cleared up completely. I don't think that's a bad idea. So let's go and deploy all of the contractors, and let's get them in here. Because I think this could be an interesting idea. I really do think it could be interesting to build the airport sort of up and around, and then have a big check-in area up here, and then security, and then you can sort of go left or right depending on what gates you want to go to. I just feel like it could be a good idea. That's all I'm saying. I feel like it could be a really good idea. So let's see here. You guys are done with those roads, which is good. So what I can do is go in and bulldoze all of that. So that's been completely cleared up, which is fantastic. Flight FA 718 is delayed. Why is flight FA 718 delayed? So what are you waiting for? Boarding in progress. Yes, we can delay that flight by an hour because it is about to take off anyway. It's a little weird that our flights seem to be getting delayed. I'm wondering if we need more airport staff as well. So let's go to airport staff. View the applicants, and we'll hire a bunch more of those guys. Just to make sure everything is actually staffed when it needs to be staffed. So that's our new deliveries area. I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and bulldoze that area. Then we're going to bulldoze that area as well. And we're going to bulldoze down here. And we're going to bulldoze down here as well. So those spaces are going to be completely cleared. we are going to go into structures. Sorry, we're going to go into infrastructure. We're going to go to bus stops. And we're going to have bus stops not on that central road, but basically going like this. All the way down there. With some car drop-off points this way. So it's basically mirroring what we've already done on the other side. We can actually do some car drop-off points. We can't actually do that. That's a bit of a shame, but we'll not worry about it. We can, however, do another bus stop there and there. And I think we can maybe get another... Once everything's demolished, we can get one more in there, one more there. And maybe another couple of car drop-off points just there. I could use that central road a little bit better. I'm not going to stress too much about that. It could actually be an idea to bulldoze some of the stuff coming through the middle here. Now that I look at it, so maybe getting rid of those, getting rid of those, and getting rid of that as well could be a good idea. So if you guys want to go in and clear all that out for me, that would be fantastic, because then we can actually have a path that sort of goes straight over here. We're going to need some crosswalks. So I think one there is going to be needed. One is going to be needed there and there as well. And then obviously some sidewalk coming straight from the front of the airport. Maybe going like this as well. Apparently I can't do that because of those... That's interesting that I can't do a sidewalk because of the lampposts. Okay. Well, I guess I need to go in and remove those as well. So where are we looking for the lights? Is it infrastructure? It isn't infrastructure? No, it's structures. That's a bit interesting, but there we go. So we'll get those light poles out of there. Just to clear up the area a little bit. Then back to infrastructure, we're going to need more sidewalks. So we'll get these all built so that people can start crossing the roads there really, really easily. We can get these put in as well. And that should just open up that space a little bit better. We could actually just have one giant check-in area that surrounds that entire thing. That is definitely an option. And I'm definitely tempted. But what I'm also curious about is actually these concrete tiles. What are they? So they're just concrete tiles to sort of fill in some grass space, I guess. It's kind of interesting, I suppose. We could put a few of those down and see what they look like at least. Apparently I can also do them over... Apparently I can do them under everything. Okay, well I think that whole area needs to be concrete, so we'll get that in. And we'll let my builders do their thing. Now this actually doesn't look terrible here. I'm actually quite happy with how this has turned out. All I need to really do is measure everything we're going to be dealing with. Now let's have a look here. What do these concrete tiles actually look like? They don't look terrible. They'd probably look better if everything was made of concrete rather than asphalt. But yeah, they don't look dreadful. It does make the airport look a little bit better. So I'll take it. I'm not going to complain at all. Now, monetarily speaking, we are actually looking pretty decent. And we do have a general aviation request. Now, that general aviation request is tricky because we don't actually get the info on how long that flight wants to stay for. So we're going to reject it. Because as of, if the flight stays too long, as of tomorrow, we are super busy. We can't afford to have one of our gates out of action. So we want to make sure that we are fully prepared for whatever's getting thrown our way tomorrow. That's for sure. Need to be 100% ready, 100% repaired, prepared, and also repaired. Both. But we just got to be ready. That's the gist of it. We just got to be ready. Actually, you know what? Give me some more concrete tiles, please, because I kind of like the idea of bringing them just around here. I think that could look kind of decent. We'll keep that little grass area just because it doesn't hurt anyone. But I definitely think having some concrete tiles there is a nice thing. We could build more structures out there. That's always an option. Another vehicle depot or another baggage handling area if we really wanted to. I don't think we need either of those things, but it's an option at least, so we'll keep it in mind. I think we can also go ahead and go to here and say extend this sidewalk all the way down to there and extend it all the way down to there as well. And you know what? Extend it on the back of this as well so that I've got the measurements done for where everything goes. And then all the way across there should be perfectly fine. I would kind of like to get rid of some of these crosswalks. They are in slightly awkward areas, so I wonder, can I select crosswalk and then... Yeah, so just bulldoze those crosswalks that aren't in amazing locations. And we'll see what ends up happening with that. There's a lot of sidewalks to go in. Fortunately, my deliveries not come down to this area, so they don't block traffic everywhere else, which is really nice. I actually really like this layout. I don't think that middle road gets much love. I don't think it gets used at all, possibly. But I still think it looks all right. I still think it looks decent. So I'm not gonna complain. I think the only thing worth complaining about really is gonna be the fact that we need more lights out here. But I also want to do a few more bits of the sidewalks here. So let's bring this down to here, and this to there. This can come across, and this can come across as well. We could just thicken up these bits a little bit, because I think having some sidewalks down here could be a decent idea. So thicken those up slightly. Or, sorry, crosswalks. Crosswalks could be a decent idea for down here. So something like that. And then all we need to do is get the lights in again. So light poles there, there, and there, and up here. And we're basically going to just, duplicate the pattern that we have the whole way through this place. Apparently, we're going to have to also extend that pattern just a little bit. So that should be nice and simple to do. You line up with that part. And then over here, exactly the same thing, I suppose. All right, so there we go. The pattern is set. We have all the bus stops, all of the car drop-off points as well. We could probably extend things a little bit. I don't think I'm too interested in doing that. I don't think there's much point in doing that. We have our crosswalks. We have all these locations for people to get off of their buses and head into the airport. We're up to almost $350,000. We have 2 large planes in the tarmac. It is now Thursday, which is really exciting because today's the busy day. Now, these planes are being pushed back, which is good. We have this plane waiting. We have these 2 planes now holding as well. They might be waiting on someone landing. They absolutely are. There are some flights that are slightly delayed coming in here, but it does look like the larger flights are also getting out of here in reasonable time. So I think potentially the next big upgrade at least, should be another runway. But to do that, we technically want to build it way over here. Or, you know, buy another chunk of land. But I don't even know if that's a thing we can do in this version of the game. I've never really paid any attention to that, so I don't even know if we can get another bit of land. So we're not going to stress too much about that. We have these 2 large flights coming in, which is fantastic. We're almost at $400,000. So I think it's fair to say that things are going okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dismiss my contractors for the time being, just to get them out of here. because I'm going to start laying out some new foundation for the extended terminal. And what we're probably going to end up needing to do is we're probably going to have to close the airport at some point. We'll probably have to close the airport. Interesting here. Flight FA722 is running late. FA722 is still boarding. We don't need to worry about it. It did board. But I'm a little concerned that boarding is getting delayed relatively frequently. That's not a good thing. That is definitely not a good thing. So these buses are coming in to pick up the workers. There are none left to pick up, so those are heading out. And I guess at this point we go ahead and start working on the foundation for a new terminal building. So it's going to be relatively symmetrical to what already exists. So 7 there. We can actually keep the game running while I do this because it's not actually going to charge me anything. We want to go 7 there as well. So those are those extended parts at the front of the terminal, which is perfectly fine by me. We then want to go 4 tiles down here. And I guess 4 at the top as well. So something like that should be fine. Obviously kind of expensive, but we'll do it. And then the terminal building itself is 11. So 11 by 8. Well, no, sorry. 11 by 26 is what we're looking for here. So that should be 11 by 26. It just needs to be 10 by 26 at this point. So 10 by 26. 52,000 to build that. Kind of expensive. But that is basically a second terminal building, which is something that we could do with this. We could just have this be a second terminal that isn't connected to the main terminal just yet. That is an option, and that is actually kind of tempting to say, so that we could open up more flights on this side and have a completely different set of security. We basically just mirror what we already have. That is an option. That is tempting. But I also kind of like the idea of building around here, so let's just have a look and see what we can do. I kind of want another airport entrance there. So let's do this sort of thing. And then build across here. So that's basically going to be where that all links together. That bit in the middle. This is where this right here is where I would want to put the new check-in area. And we may very well end up doing that. We may very well end up putting that new check-in area into this central space and then have security split off afterwards. But right now, I'm not too concerned about doing that. I just want to get the foundations in so that we can sort of see what this is all going to potentially look like. If we do that, that's basically our drop-off area right in there. And that can be expanded down a little bit. So I guess we'll see what happens with it. I am really curious to see, you know, what would end up happening with this. Let's go to doors. Let's go to the large doors that we're going to need here for the airport. We're going to want one there as well. We could have a few more entrances up this way. I don't think we're going to need... I don't think we need... you know, the offices here, because that's what these spaces are, aren't they? There's offices and bathrooms. I guess those could be bathrooms. I think we might actually do that. I think we will go for bathrooms in those parts, just because eventually we will have a lot of people coming in here. So we'll look at these areas as bathrooms. Just rather large, fairly unpleasant bathrooms. And we can have 2 of them like that. We could totally do the same over here as well, but I also like the idea of having some staff areas. I do like the idea of having just one big staff area down here. Unless we do something like this, in which case we could have 2 staff areas pretty much facing each other. So that would come down to there. Just like that. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to have 2 staff areas that are going to face each other with a single door. And they'll be tucked away a little bit. I think that'll be fine. Because that way we can make sure our staff always have somewhere to go and are always happy. That's kind of what we're going for. Now let's see here. Infrastructure, sidewalk. We want it to go right up to the door of the terminal. And we want this one to go right up to the door of the terminal as well. We could probably move the lights a little bit. So structures, light pole. We'll just get rid of these ones by the door. And it would be nice to have different types of lights. I think I want to put them there rather than against the door. Actually, those look fine, just like that. So get rid of you and get rid of you. And do that sort of thing there. These ones are a little bit awkward because they are doubled up, which these are supposed to be as well. But I think that's fine. I don't think that's a big deal. I think that'll look pretty good. So that's a lot of construction work.